Let's go for a walk. So today marks the 1 month anniversary of my retirement. And I wanted to talk for just a minute about kind of like why I retired. A lot of people ask me that question, and I've had a month now to kind of ponder things a little bit. First of all, I used to say that I planned to work until I died, that, I was going to be on the Andy Rooney plan. Oh, I'm going to work until the day I die, and then I'm just going to, go to my grave. And, for a long time, I thought that was a really great plan. And the reason I thought that was a really great plan is because I loved my job. Now, some people might say, well, wait a minute, if you loved your job, why did you quit? Why did you retire? And it's a valid question and something that I really had to think about. So, just to kind of share a little bit of my journey with you, I started thinking about retirement probably about the beginning of 2025. I hadn't really thought much about it before. I was trying to save for retirement and all that other kind of stuff, but I hadn't really given any serious thought to like retiring. And around the beginning of 2025, I just really started to feel, well, for lack of a better term, burned out. I was tired. I was tired of the pressure of having to come up with content for a daily radio show for 2.5 hours. What am I going to talk about? Is anybody going to call? What's all this going to look like today? And every morning I woke up and I had a big knot in my stomach. Now, I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive when I say that I loved my job, but I think that those two can really coexist. So I decided that maybe I really should start thinking seriously about this retirement thing. Not sure where it would lead, what I would do, or anything like that. But at least the seed had been planted in my head. Then I had my knee replacement surgery in May of 2025. And initially, things were going really well with my recovery. So, everything seemed to be good. I took 3 weeks off of work, which was very generous of my employer, the Catholic Channel, to let me do that. And my recovery was going really well. I started bowling after about, I don't know, 7 or 8 weeks, and things were going really well. And then I injured the knee, and it was really hard to get around. It was very painful. And after my knee injury is when I really started thinking seriously, no, I got to do something about this. So, uh, shortly before that, actually, I gave my boss 6 months notice. He asked me, hey, if you ever think about retiring, because we had a conversation a couple of years earlier, if you ever think about retiring, I need you to give me 6 months notice. We need to talk and interview people and audition people to see what's going to happen with your radio show. So I did. I gave him 6 months notice, and I was kind of thinking to myself, well, maybe I'll really do this thing and would really be committed to the whole thing about retiring. So then the knee injury came along, and that's what really kind of sealed the decision for me. And I got this understanding that, I'm not going to be able to be healthy and mobile and do all the things that I want to do forever. It's just not going to happen. And so my thought about, well, why would I want to work until the day I die when I still got a lot of things that I want to do? We have a new grandbaby on the way. April is the date for the birth of our new grandbaby. Our grandson Roman, we just didn't get a chance to see him very often because he lives far, far away. So all of these things came into play, and I decided that even though I love my job, and when I say I love my job, I want you to know this: I love my job because of my listeners. Every day was an adventure on the radio on Seize the Day. And just to be able to pick people's brains and hear about people's experiences and where they were with God and all the things that we were able to do on Seize the Day, that was the thing that really made me say, I love this job. I learn something new every day. I get spiritual insights every day. And that's a labor of love. It really is. But just because you love your job doesn't mean that you need to do it forever. So on January the 5th, of 2026. That's what I consider to be my official retirement date because I had to work on January the 2nd, and then the 3rd and the 4th were Saturday and Sunday. So Monday, January 5th is the day that I consider to be the anniversary of my retirement. So here we are now, 1 month into retirement. And I got to tell you, I'm loving it. Now, I still haven't figured out how to sleep very much. I've always been a very early riser. And, that's not a bad thing. I mean, I've been an early riser since I was a little kid. I've always been a morning person. But I was kind of hoping that maybe I would be able to figure out how to get more than like 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night. Now, there have been a couple of nights that I've been able to do that. In fact, give you a little praise report here. Actually, uh, it was 2 nights ago that I was actually able to sleep until about 7:30 in the morning. Now, yeah, I went to bed kind of late, but nonetheless, it was. I consider it to be kind of a victory because I did figure out how to sleep at least that one day. So I'm working on that. I'm relaxing. I still feel like I'm a month in now and I'm still tired. I'm still kind of worn out, but the feeling of burnout is beginning to go away. And I am starting to feel a little bit more relaxed. I've done a couple of spiritual practices that have been very helpful for me. I've been listening to morning prayer every morning as I go out for my morning walk. And I kind of think that maybe I'll be taking you along with me for some of these morning walks and just kind of ruminate about some things that are going on in my head and in my heart and in my life. So I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your prayers. And I hope that you'll keep those coming, by the way. And just know that I pray for you every day. Michelle and I, we walk a rosary every day out here in our neighborhood where I am now. And every day in our intentional rosary, I pray for you, my listeners, my followers now on social media, etc., and your families for your healing and for all that you need. So be assured that we're still praying for you each and every day. And if you have the opportunity or you think about it, love to have you pray for me as well. So there you go. There's my 1 month update on retirement and retiring from a job that I truly loved. Things are going well, and I appreciate you so much. And I hope we'll talk again soon. God bless.